I'm Nic Asher. I'm the tactician on Team Nika.
Andy Horton and tactician on Charisma. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. BVI, first event of the year.
Yeah, it was pretty breezy, huh?
Definitely
Pretty fun.
Definitely breezy.
There you are, look at that. Angry.
Ah, there he is.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely a breezy training and event. It was quite brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was kind of the war of attrition.
What we're expecting as well after the one in November, December last year when it was a bit light and fluffy, wasn't it?
This was
proper,
more of what we thought
proper
would
trade
be like.
Event.
Yeah, I guess that's us and you right there coming.
Oh
up
yeah,
to
to
the top mark.
This would be first race then. Yeah, you were leading at the top and we were behind.
Yeah,
just behind.
Just the way we like it, I guess. It doesn't happen very often.
Good gap behind though to the fleet.
Yep.
No, like you say, awesome conditions and actually quite wavy as well, wasn't it? Which made it pretty tricky.
Yeah, I remember I was having a hard time finding the ley lines at the top with the waves and not knowing how much current to expect up there.
Yeah.
Because the current was kind of ripping along.
Well, they're just hard to see as well, wasn't it?
Yep. Yep.
The yellow marks are not the easiest sometimes.
And then this was awesome. The waves were set up right behind our transoms on this part.
Yep.
And you could just absolutely rip on the starboard.
Yeah, starboard was good. Oh, you got a good hoist
we
compared to us then.
We had a good wave and a good hoist.
Oh, I remember this race now. You jibed
early-ish, right?
Exactly on the ley line, and we went a little bit further. And
was that this one? And then
there was a big hole, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And then the breeze came in, and you had got it perfect, and we
lucked in.
We went from second to fifth, I think, actually.
Yeah, it was a huge hole on that right side near the island, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I do remember.
I remember Seraph coming in.
Yeah.
I think this is them here, actually.
Yeah, and even is that a left that got rolled there?
Yeah.
And that was honestly the biggest transition in the whole regatta till the last day, right?
Yeah,
it was stable, and there wasn't anything like that.
Yeah, no, it caught us out. Well, it caught me out, definitely.
Yeah, I didn't think.
I got quite a bit of heat for this one off
some
of the boys.
Who would do that?
I can't name any names, no. Where we had to drop early and come in, I remember now.
Yeah, I remember that was. But it wasn't obvious. Like, we'd been training all week and that feature wasn't there. And then it just got fluffy in there when we got out. And then this corner that you guys have to make, I always find is the hardest one. You know, the jibe turn upwind.
I actually think we go straight.
Do you go straight?
Yeah, we come to the other mark.
I'm always thinking about that in that much breeze. I'm like, oh, it's so heinous to do the jibe turn.
There's no way we're going to do a 180.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more than that, but we went around the other one,
Yeah, I think that's a good decision. And you have a great rounding, you know, you'll be fast into it.
It just takes so long to get everything on, doesn't it, in these boats, in that breeze. So it's just, if you do a 180, I think it's costly.
And you feel for the boys, you know, because then you ask to tack after that.
You have to look after them a little bit in these conditions, don't you? If you ask too much of them, it's a lot on around the leeward mark.
I don't think people can imagine how much energy is put into racing one of these boats.
Yeah,
and even between races, cleaning up, you know, the whole thing is just a major project.
Yeah, you really have to muscle them round in this, don't you?
Yeah.
And the rewards are massive.
Yeah.
You've gone there, look.
We had some good angles out of there that we could just nail on the waves. A couple got really lucky with just the timing of it, and you know, you get one right, you're just gone.
Yeah, even just the bear away. If you get that right, and then you don't lose too much speed, and you can get pop the kite, you gain.
You're gone.
You can gain massive amounts, can't you?
The timing of getting the sails out and the turn, you know, is a real art, I find.
Wow, looks good, doesn't it? The background as well, and
what a cool place.
It was a good place.
I was worried because I've sailed there a few times and the fall didn't show up. You know, the breeze didn't show up in the fall, and I was worried that we wouldn't have a week of good breeze, and everyone would just think that it wasn't as epic as it can be. You know, it's such a good place.
No, it'd definitely be good to go back.
I think by the end, everyone said, okay, we could take a break. Like, we don't need that much wind all the time. And I feel like we've all gotten so much better at jibing in those conditions too. You know, it used to be pretty difficult. But I think the class has improved so much.
Yeah.
I think, you know, part of it is that we all outside jibe now and that.
Yeah, massive difference, isn't it? Yeah, that's true.
For like 10 years, we all thought inside jibing was the way to go, and 25 knots and 20 knots, and it didn't work.
This must be the second day.
You had a great day, right?
Yeah, well, we had the first two on the second day were better. We got off the start a little better, and
you guys have the magic when you can get that like just down from the committee boat, you know, and you have your pace and this condition that I feel like you've won a lot of races with that.
Yeah, no,
scenario you do really well.
Yeah, Vladimir he likes a bit of wind, and then Skip and PG do a nice job just to keep him. We just have a slightly lower, faster mode, I think.
Yeah.
That if we get a gap to leeward, we can straight into that, and we seem to have good speed in that.
Yeah.
But
I almost don't even feel like it ends up low for you guys.
Well, probably not.
It ends up, you know, kind of did it to us yesterday in light air. Here we are having a shocker, second to last, way above the weather mark.
5. I feel like you end up
quite
high up in this race, though. I think you would have some.
I wish I'd looked at the score.
Yeah.
Before we did this.
Ah.
Safe takedown.
We got a little wing foiler following us. I remember now. It was
that Nathan?
Nathan, yeah. Followed us around the leeward mark.
And passes you upwind, probably.
It's amazing how easy the racing is if you're a little bit faster, isn't it? Like if you just get out the pack and you're free and you can go where you want to go, and
it's everything, isn't it?
Yeah, you can easily extend.
And we never have enough time, you know, to tune up. Today we're talking about what to do. Okay, we want to tune, we want to look at sales for the Worlds, we want to do this, do starting, and we never even saw you guys to tune with you.
We had new sales to look at, and
it's for 2 days we've been trying to get together, and we haven't seen each other one time.
Yeah.
With the 2 practice days, it's pretty tight, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to fit a lot in.
I like it though. There's not a lot of downtime because you're always rolling with stuff.
No, exactly. It's good.
Yeah. Looked a little caught there. You made it. You made it down. God, if you hit it on the wave just right, it's so magic.
Yeah, look at you, up to 3rd.
Got up to 3rd.
Yeah.
Going pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the boys had the boat set up pretty well. We definitely were ripping. Kind of found our magic as the week went on.
And downwind as well, I thought you made fast downwind.
Yeah, we generally feel pretty quick downwind. Can't put my finger on what it is. You know, the sails are very similar to other people, and it's just technique.
Don't say trimming, because Roscoe will be...
I know. I don't want to give him too much credit. Get his ego too big, but there's something magic about it. It works pretty well.
Yeah.
I wish we could sail on that every day. That would just be...
I think Vladimir would like to sail on it every day.
Yeah, he loves it. Yeah. I think Nico does too. I wonder if there's any owner that doesn't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty epic. So this looks like a standard Nico start. I've seen you up there a few times. I'm going to be there tomorrow.
I get a lot of grief for this.
Do you? Why?
Yeah. Just a standard boat
They're
end
like,
start.
let me guess. Boat end, go straight. Yeah. Make us fast.
But if you're fast, it's just you can sit there and
zero risk, right?
Pin the fleet that way, and then just decide when you want to attack.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's the luxury of having a bit of speed in that stuff.
Yeah. The key is like knowing that you're going to be good enough to do it, right?
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get left from there if you're not.
Yes, exactly.
If you do want to go that way.
Yeah. No, we when was it? I think it was the first event last year in Lanzarote. We had a few races where we started at the boat and we held all the way, and it was like, we found some wheels.
Easy. Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, that seems to work, and then it's just knowing, like you say, when to use it.
Yeah, if you can do that, by all means.
Yeah.
It's pretty zero risk. Made it.
You did diving on the wave, yeah.
So none of us used to use the sails enough before we turned.
Yeah.
And we'd all be past the weather mark. There's some old videos in Qashqai, just going a mile past the weather mark. No one can turn downwind. I feel like everyone's kind of got the technique now.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how much you lose when you get caught above somebody.
Yeah.
You look at Aqua there just because of positioning.
Well, we had one when we were just above Peninsula, and you go around, and then they had messed their hoist up a little bit, so then we'd popped, and then they gave us a little laugh, and
and
then we
two bones high,
and then everyone else is sailing
behind you.
It's just
Oh, here you go.
Oof.
Just
about got away with that, I think, maybe.
No.
It's that horrible feeling when the main doesn't quite come
Yes,
through and you're sat there in no man's land and just waiting for that boom to come across, and it's whether you spin out or not.
And for the owners, I find it's hard because when the boom hits, you know, it really adds a lot of heel.
Yeah.
So they always want to turn down.
Yeah.
Natural instinct, but if you can kind of, you know, be brave enough to not fight it with the rudder at that moment, and you can catch the kite, then you're off.
Yeah.
You'll get this one. This one looks.
We'll come for another one.
Figured might as well get this
Putting
one
a few jives in.
You guys were so quick there. You're still a mile ahead.
Really?
Here we go.
Yeah.
I figured out where you are.
I know where you are.
No.
You're at the pin, aren't you? No? Oh, no, you're in the middle.
We had a bad one. We're there. We're back a bit.
It's amazing, though, isn't it? The gains.
When you hold the boats behind?
Even if you're tight and you just get round, and then it's everything in this class, isn't it?
And you turn down and your transom keeps their bow from coming down like that.
And you're off.
And now we're going.
Yeah.
I almost think it's like worth setting it up if you could, you know?
Yeah, no, I remember you did this a lot in this event.
You just
scrape through
Yep.
on that second upwind and the gains, and then you were off.
And then all of a sudden they can't turn down and you're 3 boat lengths ahead.
So this must be the last race then. This is your...
It looks that way,
This is your
We've
match
gone
race.
through it all, yeah. Yep.
So what was the plan?
We wanted to be lured of them in the pack, so that was the goal.
Yeah.
To slow them down. So we kind of had them pretty locked.
Yeah.
And then we could have gone back one more time, but then if they had crossed us, it would have been more difficult. So we kind of just did another circle behind them.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I figured that the left was pretty good, but I mean, I think the couple races, we had gone left and they had gone right, and we both came into the top mark exactly together. But I figured if we're tight to leeward of them, you know, we can slow them down, let them get rolled, and now they're behind everybody.
Yeah.
And at least, whether we get out of it or not, you know, at least we've got 8 other boats between us or 7 other boats between us. So, but the timing worked out to hook them and to lock them, because we came in and I was driving at 4:05, and there was like the media boat or a Coast Guard boat, and I literally dialed them down, and then I said, Nico, you're gonna hold it in 3, 2, 1, you hold it. At 4 minutes, he grabbed it, and it happened to be like just set up, and he was off, so it was good. So here, I mean, the only thing they can do is go behind everyone, and we can still follow them or tack here.
So you're fairly happy here.
Yeah, now it was. I didn't think we'd actually get away with being the leeward boat, but if we could be tight to leeward of them, I feel like we can just slow them.
Yeah, especially in these waves as well, right?
Exactly, and we ended up sailing high and slow to get them in a tight lane and kind of rolled, and then let's see what happens.
Yeah.
They still came out right at the top.
Yeah, I do remember,
They were really quick.
They were going well, weren't
this
they?
Day, at least, I'm sure other days too, but this day in particular, I remember looking at them, like, what else can we do? A couple times.
I think I know where we are.
Yeah, you're going awesome right there. Did you win this race?
No, I don't think we did. I think we might have. I think we rounded together at the top.
Okay.
And then you overtook us downwind, I think.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it got a little fluffy, didn't it?
Yeah, but then you were gone, I think. But yeah, no, I think we were next to each other at the top, if I remember rightly.
I really was watching them. So here we were just trying to slow them. If we could get up to them, it was a little wider than we wanted from that build, but they were back.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of saying, look, if we can slow them, Artemis up there rolls them, then all of a sudden they've got a lot to come back.
Yeah.
But you know what? At the top, they were right there.
Yeah.
If I remember, we tacked and dipped like 3 boats, and then ended up.
I think you dipped us.
Dipping you guys too.
I think so, yeah, because then I think we went just after you.
That's right, and we both came into the top mark like that.
But yeah, I think we had a little race with Sarah for 3rd and 4th in this one. A similar similar setup to you guys. We were sort of just had to take care of them.
Yep. They came across, just crossed everyone, tacked to windward, if I remember right, and wiggled through, and it was
Unbelievable.
amazing. I couldn't believe that they would do it. Like, what do we have to do? They're in third place after that, but they were going great.
Yeah.
Not the greatest job at all. That'll make it a little closer. Just getting the timing, we've changed from these like priority main, turn pretty quick jibes to, it's probably 14 knots here.
Yeah.
And slowing it down is always hard.
Exactly. Right when it's that crossover of sort of keeping the apparent.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to a jibe and you got to.
Yeah. Just slow
it down.
The turn down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to get that sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We just crossed and got to the right mark.
Yeah.
That's right.
And Aleph have come through as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They needed to.
They were on fire.
Yeah.
But you guys were taking care of Sarif fine.
I think so, yeah. I'm trying to remember where they ended up. I know it all got close at this bottom gate and it was like, oh.
Yeah. And I remember you guys having some action to get around that one. If we could cross, it was going to be a clean right turn for us.
Yeah, let's Sarif caught up a lot, I remember.
It's pretty fun that the top 4 boats are, all there together.
Yeah, Aleph just went a little wide and we managed to get inside and then at least we had a lane out, otherwise we'd have definitely been toast.
Going back.
Yeah. And then like you say, you're hoping your side's gonna
both of our sides we're trying to shepherd it's gonna be 1-2 or 1-2, right? In the regatta. We got up there. I remember, we hit them a couple times. We were trying to keep you in between us.
Yeah.
And we just kept doing a lot of work to push them back, and they would punch through, punch through. But at the end of this beat, it got pretty good.
Yeah, I think you gained your side, didn't you? And then we managed to just.
We were trying to get you guys both in front of them.
Yeah.
And you were ahead of Sarif, so that was.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's cool because I knew you were fighting with them, so I know how you were going to deal with them.
Yeah.
So you can kind of predict it a little bit more.
Yeah.
When you're trying to get the boats in between.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you did a nice job on this because they're back in 5th here, aren't they?
Yeah. Not for long.
Job done.
They'll probably come back. Not for long. Yeah. I think you always have to do the right thing, right?
I think
pressure,
so. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta keep an eye on them, but you can back yourself as well, can't you? If you've got pressure, you got the shift right. Yeah. Then you've got 2 things right out of the.
Right. And if luck's not on your side, then.
Yeah. And
so many times you just follow them, and then they get they do the right thing, and you're like, oh crap.
Yeah.
How did I put myself in last place? Yeah. But you guys feel pretty comfortable in most stuff, I think, right? Conditions wise.
We're getting there, yeah. Certainly, we like it when it's windier, but we've done J2 above. Yeah. We're happy. The G1.
Still working on it.
We're still working on it, but we've definitely got better.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think we feel the same way. I wonder if there's anyone who doesn't feel that way. I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. Looks good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
We can go back there.
It's nice to win when you got a good gap, but it's also really nice to win when you're in a match race, isn't it?
Yeah, when it's super close. Yeah.
You pull it off.
Exactly. This feels better.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
When you're on the right side of it.
Yes.
When you're not, it's not that great.
Yeah. There was a race where one of our guys went overboard, so I'm glad that's not on here.
Yeah. Did you have to stop and go back?
We did have to drop the kite and go back and get him, and I won't name names because he'll be upset about it, but he got a lot of stick for the rest of the week.
How did he fall over?
I think he just went to hike and he grabbed the wrong end of the rope, or he didn't grab the right and he just went straight in.
Oh,
it was just like,
poor guy. Yep, but no one will ever forget it, right?
No, exactly. But you guys had a great event, didn't you? You and Aleph were neck and neck for a lot of it, but
yeah, I feel like you guys were in there too. It just somehow got a couple points.
Yeah.
I don't know from all the videos we watched how it happened, but they were somewhere in there.
Yeah. No, we were happy for the first one of this year.
Yeah. Last year you guys came out of the blocks.
Yeah. We did have a nice year last year, so it's hard to how you do the next year after that, isn't it? It's hard how you manage that. So
you keep the
without expectations too high, but
Yeah.
then just keeping it rolling. So
yeah.
we were happy with a third, but yeah, we were no match in this event for you guys, and the Aleph was good.
Yeah, it'll all change tomorrow.
It
It'll all
could be
change
anything.
tomorrow. We're sailing with Genoa's tomorrow, so that'll be both of us
It's
will be
tricky.
at the back
Yeah,
probably.
probably.
It's good. What a great class, though. It's the boats are awesome, and it's just fun that we can go sail in 25 knots day after day,
Yeah,
and then even if it's 6 or 7 knots,
yeah, like today,
we can still race.
5 knots, 4, even under that at times, and it was the racing's still good.
Now it's not the best in the world racing, right? You'd rather 10, 20,
It's tricky, but yeah.
I was talking to someone today and I said, the thing is when people give up work to come and sail these boats, at least they're sailing on a day like today. There's so many of these other boats that aren't powered up
Yep.
that we'd sit on the shore, and poor people that, have these boats don't get to race.
Yeah, I mean, we sat at the 52 event in Saint-Tropez the other
That's right.
week,
Last week, yeah.
and for 2 whole days we sat on the water, and there was 5-6 knots of wind,
Yeah.
and we would have been racing in these boats, but in the
Exactly.
52 we just sat there and watched.
And that's
And
exactly
you couldn't
it.
race, it's so
And
frustrating.
you lose days and they don't get a lot of time. These are their only sailing days they have. So I think that's where this class has really hit its stride. But then you can also still go deal with 25 knots.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. The
so-
best, it's certainly the most enjoyable boat, I find.
Yeah. And I always say, if you and I, the tacticians, have to do something, it's a good boat.
Yeah.
Like, I get to ease the main at the weather mark, or at the leeward mark, tail it a little bit. If we get to do something, it's a good boat.
I'm not sure I'm allowed to do
You're
anything.
not allowed to do
no,
anything.
they don't let me touch anything.
Maybe that's your secret. I don't know.
I think that's Skip. He doesn't.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. he
No, I
wouldn't.
agree though. They're awesome boats.
This boat has the right number of people, the right number of controls, the power. It's good. It's very fun.
Yeah.
But have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. See you on the race course. Hopefully we can line up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's our goal. Actually, we're going to talk about that
We
later,
do.
right?
We do.
Yeah,
I think we've got everything done now, so
Perfect.
we'll be in good shape.
us too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go get them.
Yeah.
You can be first. We'll be second.
I'll take that.
This time for tomorrow.